they can see that he's just a fool.
Okay, we are now simulcasting the radio show at prisonplanet.tv and living color at prisonplanet.tv for the balance of the rest of the broadcast today. Coming up, I have Pastor Steven Anderson that's made international headlines saying that he's praying that Obama dies. I think that's a mistake, but I think Pastor Anderson, who we've talked to many times, is a good guy. I understand that's in the Bible, it's biblical, but it really plays into the hands of the establishment wanting to crack down on our liberties. But Pastor Anderson's coming up. We'll discuss it. Because I got the national media calling me, wanting me to go on national TV and comment on it. I want to, instead of just hearing little clips and edited sound bites, we got Pastor Anderson coming on here. And we're probably going to have Chris back on, too, the black gentleman with the AR-15 on his back. He goes to Pastor Anderson's church. I didn't really point that out when I knew it a few weeks ago. I was kind of cringing, knowing the media would probably find it. But now it's all over CNN, Fox, all over ABC, CBS. That's coming up. We got Steve Quayle coming on about the flu, the quarantines, the forced inoculations. The government now admits they're gearing up for this. I don't know if they're going to carry it out, but they're certainly saying they plan to. So that's coming up, too. But for the next 25 minutes or so, Mancow Muller, syndicated radio talk show host, joins us to talk about a host of issues. But originally, I wanted to get him on because the British news and the U.S. news has been reporting they rich groups rent big former palaces, hotels, and they have big satanic orgies and do open ceremonies. And the British news has been reporting on this. The San Francisco Chronicle reported on them drinking blood, defecating on stage, the mayor involved, years ago. I mean, this stuff really happens. Eyes Wide Shut is based on Bohemian Grove and other real events that I've actually infiltrated and Skull and Bones. But those are homoerotic, Skull and Bones and Bohemian Grove. This is with women. But equally bizarre, Mancow, because he's influential and TV show host and radio host, he got invited to one, so I wanted him on about that. That's coming up in a few minutes, though. I wanted to discuss first something he's been talking about, and that's Van Jones and other people, and Obama and Rahm Emanuel introducing legislation for forced compulsory service, asking the Obama people to go knock on doors and twist people's arms. And the White House was going to have a national telecast to public schools called Obama Education, asking the kids to rally and support his agenda and to speak to their parents. Now, you dovetail that, and we have all these clips coming up the next hour. I'm going to play them. With Obama's czar, shock admission. We have the clip coming up. Green jobs, goal is complete revolution, a takeover of the economy, an end of capitalism, and to get the youth and admitting communism. This isn't me. This is his czar. And then that dovetails with Al Gore saying, your parents are backwards, question their beliefs. Your parents are like people against ending segregation. So there is an attempt to take over the kids. Now, Obama's in retreat now, canceling his Hitler Youth newscast. But then I had Media Matters attack me last week, along with Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck, saying we're liars. No one has ever called for this when the legislation is introduced. Mancow Muller, give us your take on this.
Well, look, Obama is still going to speak to the kids. They have pulled back on some of what they were going to do. They were going to ask children afterwards. And this was going to be mandatory for everybody from kindergarten to, graduating high school, that they would have to sit through this Obama agenda. It is. You picture this as something Pol Pot would do, or something that little Kim would do, Kim Jong-il over North Korea. And you would then have to, every child in public schools in America would then have to write, what can I do to help Obama? What did I think of what Obama had to say? And parents have reacted very strongly, so now they have softened it. But the agenda. Alex, it's so funny to me when we're talking about fascists or communists or radical Kenyan Muslims without birth certificates or whatever your audience wants to think Obama is. But certainly these are big government people, and have they been lost on the irony of calling everybody czar? Do they not know irony? They name everybody czar. It's hysterical to me. But,
Chris Matthews says if you question 26 aides, when people question that under Bush when she had like 15, or if you question Pelosi's jumbo jet, it's racism. They're playing the race card to inject it. And I want you to comment on this.
Sure.
And then now all over the news, they're saying we're liars. There's no call for compulsory youth when Rahm Emanuel, the White House chief of staff, is on C-SPAN not once, not twice, but 3 times. Obama's on TV 5 times. We've dug out all the videos saying he wants compulsory military domestic service to him. And then now he wants your kids to line up where he's on a jumbotron like something out of 1984 or actual Maoist China. And then they say we're racist liars. This is outrageous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, race is going to be very easy for this president. I saw it when I had 10,000 people show up for my Tea Party. I've attended 2 of these town hall meetings about health care. And, of course, if you dare to question Air Obama, you're called a racist. It's ridiculous. But, yeah, this would have been they wanted kids to write letters, every kid in public schools, how to help the president. And then after the speech, they were supposed to talk about, here's the subject, what the president wants from me, the big video screens, everything you're talking about. Look, America is getting wise to it, Alex. You need to know this. I get very depressed, and then I went to these town hall meetings. I went out on the streets. Hope and change have morphed into creepy and overreaching. Commie boy here out of my city of Chicago is no longer fooling America. Look at Zogby. Look at Rasmussen. CNN. I mean, CNN. Come on. Commie News Network right there. CNN today is saying that he's lost independence. I understand people not wanting to be part of what Bush was doing, the big spending, the Republicans. I was sick of Bush's spending. But so who are you going to identify with? This Democratic Party, independents gave this guy a shot. He overreached, and I think they're ready to send him and his strong arm goons back to Chicago.
Well, Mancow, I agree with you, but I think I want your take on this. I think the real reason, if you really study the Rasmussen and Gallup polls, he's as low as 39 in many demographics. His highest demographic is 45 in these different polls, but the average is about 42, and he's losing close to a point a week. This is the fastest drop of any president 8.5 months into their administration since Gallup and Rasmussen existed. So this is record crashing and burning because people are finding out he's a hoax. The evidence I'm getting is the reason people are really waking up to him, even his former supporters and hardcore liberals, is that they realize he says he isn't for gun control, but the bills are all public. He says he doesn't want to restrict free speech.
Oh, come on.
But the bills are introduced. He says he doesn't want Hitler-Jugend, but the bills are introduced, and he's calling for them to stand in stadiums before jumbotrons and be given marching orders. And I think